the new age students. It's really a pleasure when I address these students as the modern age students or the new age students. So before we really get into the today's topic, that is design thinking for modern age students, we'll talk about these two words which we have used in the title of this subject. And the first word is design thinking, the second word is modern age students. When we talk about a modern age student, what we actually mean is the changed learning pattern through which today's student learns his own curriculum, the way he approaches, and the differences that over a period of last few decades, because of the innovation of the World Wide Web and the connectivity, the advantage of the internet which the student has in terms of the knowledge base which they carry along with it. Now, if we actually compare two different scenarios, a student a few decades back and a student today, today's student has more information at his own command. The information flows much faster and plenty in quantity compared to any other time till date. So today a modern age student is filled with information. He's not coming to the class for information. He's coming to the class to analyze, understand, interpret, and apply the information at his command. That's one major activity or one of the major takeaway which a modern age student has. Looking at the present electronic revolution, the student is more tech savvy, they are well connected, and connectivity, connection, information at hand has made a drastic change in the way a student look towards the learning process. Now, while we are evolving different and innovative ways of teaching and learning methodologies, a term which has been talked about today a lot into the solution making scenario or the learning process scenario is changing, and this word called design thinking is being talked about practically everywhere, wherever there are two processes which are at the center of the activity. The first process is the learning process, the second process is the solution building process. By default, the moment word design comes into our mind, what we think is drawing something, designing something, and who comes into our mind is a fashion designer or an interior designer or a product designer or a communication designer. But then today what we are going to really understand is how universities across the globe, how great teachers and learners across the world have adopted the basic fundamental rules of design thinking into various type of learning processes. Now, when we talk about design thinking and when we talk about the modern age students, we are talking about using design thinking as a tool to bridge up the gap and understand the overall transformation of learning process that it has taken up. In my times, old man like me, when I used to go to the class, my first hunger, my first thought to get into the class was to get maximum information that I can get from my teacher. And those teachers at that particular time were the source of, or rather the only source of information on a particular topic for students of the old age scenario. Whereas today, the information is not Getting the information is never the prime objective or a prime need of today's student. He has plenty of options and plenty of information available. So, the classroom learning and the role of a teacher is very fast changing, and that's the reason we at APAX always try and play a role of not only a teacher but more of a mentor. When we say that a teacher becomes a mentor, the moment we change our focus from only sharing the information to trying to help a student to analyze, apply, and use the information in its right perspective with the student. Now let's understand what design thinking is all about. When we say, as we discussed, the moment we talk about design, what comes into our mind is fashion, interior, product, but at the end of the day, the core of designing any of these products is basically trying to give you a solution which is going to make the user's life more friendly, more aesthetic, more useful, and trying to improve, innovate, and come up with a great product. Now, design thinking per se is a process which has been adopted not only in product development cycle but overall as an solution development cycle. Every single activity in today's world is basically dependent on one thing: how effective your solution is to a problem. Now, if we get into a little more depth and try and understand how design thinking and understanding the various steps of design thinking is going to help today's student, let us first understand that the moment we talk about applying information, adopting to a newer technology, or trying to come up with solutions which are going to make the user's life more friendly, what we need to really do is understand the process of solution building. Stanford University, every good university in the world has its own definitions, has its own processes defined for design thinking. And what we have done here is adopting design thinking methodologies to various streams of teaching. Let it be management, let it be technology, let it be journalism, let it be physiotherapy, let it be design. And how does these simple 5 steps of design thinking helps a student to really improve himself from information gathering to applying the information, coming up with various innovations, and so on and so forth. Let's first understand, how do we actually come up with solutions? We have plenty of information available with us, and our human mind identically works in the same particular pattern. Whenever we are approaching to innovate something or to solve something, there are logical steps which happens in the subconscious mind of every single human being. The first step that we do is we try and observe. We try and observe that what is available around us in the context of the problem. We know what the problem is, or we may not know what the problem is, but if we observe, we really come to know one very basic fact, and that is what is available to my user as of now as a solution. So, if we define the first step of design thinking as observation, what do we understand out of observation is trying to gather out that what my user has as of now, what is available to my user. Immediately once I know that what is available to my user, what I need to know is what are the actual needs of my user. Because end of the day, a solution is created and would be effective only and only if it's going to cater the need of the user in a much better way than what is available today. So, what do we do as a second step of design thinking? That is, empathize with the need of the user. When we say empathize means thinking from the perspective of the end user. Say for example, if I am talking about a mobile phone and my problem is to improve the present design of a particular model to a better model. My first step of observation is going to actually let me know that what are the features which are available in today's mobile phone. My second step of design thinking, that is empathy, that is going to give me an understanding of what is the need of my user. It may happen that there are a couple of features in my mobile phone which are not that useful or not that needed to my user, but at the same time there are a couple of features, if added to the new version of my mobile phone, that's going to make the use of the phone much effective for the user. Say for example, a battery or a camera. And if we look at the evaluation of the current smartphones, probably the same process was being followed. As step one, the solution providers had understood by observation that what is available with the user. As a second step, by empathizing to the needs of the user, the solution providers came up with a list of needs which can be incorporated into a smartphone, and then we came up with ideas of incorporating speakers, incorporating cameras, incorporating the browsers, the net connectivity. And today a mobile phone, which was in my times or in my young times used only as a medium of communication or a verbal communication, has today become a smartphone which can practically do everything, right from social networking to hardcore serious money transactions. So gradually what happened was, by observing we understood what is available what is available today to my user. My step two, empathy. By empathizing, we came to know what are the needs of the student or what are the needs of my user. Once I know what is available, once I know what is needed, what happened was we started bridging up this gap and coming up with an idea of a solution. So the third step of design thinking, which is defined as per Stanford standards, is ideating. So we observed. Step one, we did observation. Step two, we empathized. Step three, by bridging up the information that we had because of our observation with the needs defined during our step two of empathizing, we came up with an idea which is going to make the product more effective, more useful, and the life of my user much more effective. So the third step was ideating a new product or a revised product. Once ideated, as a logical process, what we normally do is we create a prototype of this new idea which can be implemented in its right perspective. See, this is what we talk about when we talk about experimenting with technology. आज के ज़माने में मैं आप हम सब ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म से इतने यूज टू हो गए हैं कि इस तरह की टेक्निकल हिच को हम बड़ी आसानी से झेल भी लेते हैं, रेक्टिफाई करते हैं, वापस आ जाते हैं. सो कमिंग बैक टू वेयर वी वर, द स्टेप 3 दैट वाज आइडिएटिंग एंड द स्टेप 4 विच वाज प्रोटोटाइपिंग. हमने एक आइडिया तो कर लिया, इसका एक प्रोटोटाइप बना लिया, एंड देन वी स्टार्टेड टेस्टिंग दिस प्रोटोटाइप. The moment we find that our idea is working on a prototype, जो हमने सोचा था वही रिजल्ट हम ले पा रहे हैं, राइट? देन वी अलाउ द प्रोडक्ट टू पास थ्रू द टेस्टिंग फेज. If not, we go back to step one, that is observation, re-observe what is available, re-empathize what is needed, re-ideate, keeping in mind why my prototype didn't pass the testing phase first time, and then test it again. We keep on doing this process repetitively till such time we actually derive to a product which is going to bridge up the availability with the need, which is going to make the idea viable, which is going to a prototype that is going to be functionally working, and then we float the idea as a solution and come up with a final solution. Now ये जो process है, we took an example of a product here, but this is a process which is used in every single human activity in today's world. Even if we are crossing a road, our subconscious mind is going to practically follow similar steps. We look left, we look right, and we observe what is coming in. We empathize with the person crossing the road, that whether the vehicle which is coming towards me is going to reach me before I cross the road, or I'll be allowed to cross the road without really much of a problem. So a similar kind of an approach, when scientifically worked up, is being implemented practically in all curriculums of, as we said, management technology everywhere. Most of the universities have now started incorporating design thinking processes into the learning sphere, which helps a teacher, which helps a student. एक typical scenario होता है जिसमें when a teacher is more concerned about, or a student is more concerned about clearing an exam, what happens is specific information is being shared, और फिर वो वही हमारे पुराने जो हमारे सो कॉल्ड इनटू इन्वर्टेड कॉमा डायलॉग्स होते थे, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसको नोट कर लो, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसको अंडरलाइन कर लो, ये 100% एग्जाम में पूछा जाएगा. इन सिनारियोज से जब हमको बाहर आना है, वी हैव टू change our learning pattern, and instead of preparing to clear exams, we want to prepare for applying the knowledge, understanding the information in its right perspective, and using the information to come up with innovations, come up with solutions, come up with projects which are going to be the projects of today, the projects of tomorrow. And to implement this in its right perspective, the new ways of teaching pedagogies, let it be flipped classrooms, let it be learning by project, let it be experimental learning, let it be role plays, plenty of such activities are scientifically derived out of the design thinking process. What we discussed was the most elementary form, or rather only the gist of the entire process summed up. What we have done here at Apex University is, for the advantage of our own students and for the advantage of students not coming from design background, we have derived specific workshops for 7 or 14 days, which are focused on adopting the design thinking processes into modern day learning environment. We create small peer groups from different spheres of learning, say maybe a group of 10 to 15 people, 10 to 15 students who are pursuing their education in management, try and adopt the design thinking processes which are going to help the strategic planning, which are going to really help coming up with financial solutions, coming up with operational solutions, coming up with business solutions, with a very systematic approach of design thinking being adopted there. We do a similar kind of exercise with technology students, the BTech students, where because design thinking process is the core of product development or the cycle of product development. So a very focused peer group from our own university, even the students from other universities have been allowed to participate into these workshops very cyclically with common interest group. We have derived these programs and we want to experiment this with plenty of students, and I am 110% sure that everything that we do subconsciously or indirectly, when we adopt design thinking in a very bold and a very apparent way into our learning processes, into our solution building processes, it's going to give us phenomenal results, and we change our learning methodology from exam orientation to vocation to coming up with solutions, change the scenario of trying to search a job and keep on searching a job, because this gap, if we understand every day, even during this difficult times, there are plenty of jobs being advertised, but there are plenty of graduates from various fields not being employed, and this gap is only because we have been focusing on clearing exams. We have not been really keeping a mindset of trying to apply the knowledge that we have gained in our universities to come up with solutions which are going to make us hardcore professionals. So design thinking, according to me, is the first but the most important and a primary learning methodology for every student of modern era. Information is available with us, plenty available with us. In fact, with the highway of the World Web, it's available more than required. So we need to channelize how do we actually apply this information and knowledge to our own advantages. You can connect to us for any further information about these programs, any further information about the design thinking processes, and I wish all these new students, a new age student, a very great learning experience by doing it, by applying it, and by working towards solution building rather than clearing exams. I'm really thankful for your patient hearing and apologize once again for this small technology hitch that we had in between. Have a great day ahead, and we'll keep on interacting from this platform on a regular basis. Thank you so very much.